Do you hear me?
Yeah, everything's sounding good. So, how's it going in the land of metal and pop and all that stuff, Caroline?
Yeah,
Caroline Rose.
it's going well. It's going well. Yeah, you know what? I'm right now. I'm making a movie with a French director, and it's Conan the Barbarian, but only with women. So I spent my whole day fighting with swords and slicing people's guts open. So I've had quite a day, to be honest.
How do you land a job like that, Conan the Barbarian, with only women? That's awesome,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's unique also.
it's very cool. It's I don't know how I got this gig actually. I guess the director just stumbled across my work also as an actress, and so yeah, he felt I would be a good barbarian, and I'm very happy about this kind of job because I also get to do music in the movie, so it's always a win-win situation when I get to act and play my music. But yeah, it's really cool. We're like 6 or 7 girls, different kinds of Conans, different kinds of barbarians, and yeah, currently we're shooting it. So I'm very fortunate to be working right now. So that feels good.
You find that in life, every move you do creates another move. Meaning, if you do something here, it will in fact get you another job and just lead to better things every day or every month.
Yeah, totally. I feel like it always works like that, you know. So, sometimes I talk with other artists and they're like, "Hey, how do you land gigs?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know how you really do that stuff. It's just you do things, you and then you talk with people and then it leads to other things." And I think that's the exciting journey also that we're all on. You never really know what's going to happen, but if you take the first step, something will happen. So
Now, Caroline, how busy are you in your life right now? Because I mean, you're doing lots of stuff.
yeah.
Um, we're not seeing everything, I presume, online because you are working, actress and doing music, and I'm sure you have some back catalog stuff that you didn't release yet too.
Yes,
That you're waiting, of course.
of course.
You
Yeah.
know, how busy are you? In a week's time.
Yeah, but that's so true. You know, I do lots of different things also because I always put an emphasis on. I never wanted to have to make my art for money. Not that I don't want to earn money with my art, but I never wanted to feel like I had to make a move because I didn't have enough to eat on my table or things like that. So that's why I have a career in theater and movies also. And typically in a week, even right now, I juggle between theater plays that are in the making. So I'm working with the director of the play, and we're rehearsing. And then I go to a movie set to shoot because you know sometimes on these movie sets you have 3 days, and you have 2 days off, and you have 3 days, and then you have 2 days off. And I also work on my music. Obviously, that's the main focus. I'm always working on my music, on creating content for my social media because I don't want to just give my music away when I don't have the right following yet, you know? So I do that. And I also work for other artists because um, I write songs for other artists, or I will do top lines or guitars for other people because I think it's really important to stay connected with other artists. And you always get an idea when you work with someone, you know, at least I feel like it's so important to work on other people's music to understand my music better. And yeah, so that's everything, and it all goes on at the same time. So I will do different things in a week. I'm very thankful and glad that I have so much work right now. I know many musicians who struggle a lot or actors, but yeah, I feel very fortunate.
So with COVID-19 is still going strong for you. It's
Yep.
nothing stopping.
No.
Sure. where does the name like Sun come from? You know, and then you put brutal pop on there. It
Yeah,
kind of twists the name Sun a little bit with
yes.
pop.
The story is kind of a sad story, but it's also a beautiful story. It's in 2017. Um, no, where I should start before that. When I was a very young girl, when I was 5 years old, I lost my dad, like many people who are lose their parents a little bit too early. And in 2017, his grave was removed because, I'm Franco-German, and his grave is in Germany. And, sometimes when you have your grave for 20 years, they just remove it. And I wasn't prepared for that. And my dad didn't do anything amazing. He wasn't a great personality. He was just like, a local businessman and had a very normal life. And he was a great dad. I remember him. But when his grave was removed, I was like, but how do you, how can I do something so that we remember him? That everyone will remember him because he was a really great dad and he was a really great person, but unfortunately something happened and he died. And I was like, you know what? For me, my dad was like the sun. He was a very warm personality. He would take me on car drives, so we would go really fast, and it was dangerous, but it was not in a suicidal way. It was in a let's put on rock music and go fast and have fun way. And so I always remembered him like the sun. And I thought, you know what, if Sun becomes my stage name and my last name, like to me it's Karoline Rose is my first name, and then Sun is as an actress, my name is Karoline Rose, Sun, and music it's only Sun. And I was like, okay, if I put this in my name, I'm going to have to tell the story every time someone asks, and so we will never forget about my dad. So that was the story of it. And of course, everyone was like, okay, but you know that Sun is not amazing for Google.
Mm,
And I was like, okay, I realize that it's maybe, a very broad choice,
yeah.
but this was where I also always attached the brutal pop to it because I've been obsessed with this term brutal pop since I was like 12 or 13 because I always wanted to like mix Britney Spears and Pantera, that's always been like something I wanted to do. So yeah, the two came kind of together. It's always like Sun, brutal pop, but that's kind of the backstory of it. And I hope that I get to talk about my dad even more and more and more every time someone asks.
And I'm sure with the name Sun, once you become, Sun online, you might get a lot of views now because it's a big term, So if you can have some traffic out of that, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'd love to, and yeah, I'd love to. Really, what I want to do is to share with lots of people. I think that's my thing. It's to be able to share with lots of people and trying to be on that little intersection that connects lots of different worlds together.
Caroline, let's say releasing snippets of songs and not the full song. What's your side of things there? Because a lot of people do want to hear the whole song, but you're releasing snippets, which I've
Yeah.
seen on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, that was kind of accidental because before the first confinement, I would not do many covers and stuff like that because um, I was a bit scared, and I didn't know how to do it, and so I just didn't do it. And then confinement happened, and I thought, you know what, I have to try to make this happen, but I wanted to do something every week. So I just made snippets because it was easier technically, and it was confinement. I was confined in the south of France because I was shooting a movie there. So I didn't have much gear or stuff like that. And then it kind of, people wanted to hear the whole song. So I was like, okay, every 2 or 3 months, we'll pick a winner and I'll make a full length version with musicians and I'll go in the studio and record it. And that kind of became a thing. So recently I released a full length of Destiny's Child Survivor. And yeah, I think I'll go on like that. I always try to prepare full-length versions, and yeah, I try to keep up with it. But it's a way of connecting to lots of people through the music I like and they might like. And then hopefully they listen to my first EP that came out 1 year ago, and the upcoming one that will come out a little bit later this year.
You find releasing singles versus EPs or albums is better now? You know, let's push this single now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's better. I know that it's a good way to do things right now, and for someone like me, it's not bad because I do lots of different things. So it's a good way to communicate. But I still feel like there's so much value to one record, one body of work. So I think there are different speeds. You know, there's the speed of the internet where you do the single thing, but I still think it's beautiful when you go to a show, which we might go to again soon. That you know you get an album and you get a body of work and an artwork and everything. So I will go on doing the single thing, but I've been working on my first record for quite some time now, and I'm just waiting for the right setup and everything. And COVID kind of, you know, it made things a little bit harder. You know, touring is big part of rock and roll. So
right,
yeah,
it's hard to sell albums if you're not, you know, promoting it while playing. The radio stations and the videos and the internet can only promote so much, right? The artist does have to go the extra way.
Yes, and I feel like you connect so much better. I mean, of course you connect in a great way through the internet. It's amazing, but to me there's nothing like a show. And you know, afterwards you meet everyone and you get to talk to people, and it's so cool. And yeah, and it's also a good way to sell records.
Let's say working in like an actress versus performing for a music video. You know, is it the same thing for you? Except you're playing music as well, and you're on your own YouTube channel. Is that really excitement for you and enjoyment, or is it more work?
Yeah, that's such a good question, because at the beginning it felt like work, because I was like, what am I doing? Because obviously there's no real direction, no real actor direction. You don't have it's not you're not saying any word. I mean, you're saying lyrics, but it's a song. It's different, you know. So I had to kind of find a way to make it funny, and I was my own director, kind of, because I like to direct lots of the things that we put out, and so it was a little bit difficult to find the fun there, you know, because when you're in a movie, you're just there, and you know, makeup is not your job, and the style is not your job, and the lighting, if it's, you know, bad, then it's not your problem. So, and when you do your own music videos, you kind of care. So now it has become super fun, because I have kind of gotten used to having to do different jobs, and you know, taking care of the light, taking care of everything in the backstage, and you know, I hired people also to make it feel a little bit more professional. And yeah, I try to mix the movie world with the music video world, but I think I'm getting there right as we speak, because we're shooting other music videos, and I feel like, you know, every time I do another one, I'm getting closer to this right mix, you know.
When do you think do you give yourself 5 months and you're going to start having the exposure you should get? Is it's like you see your YouTube videos, and why isn't there enough views on there?
Oh, yeah. I think I recently only started to understand what I was supposed to do with the internet. Before that, I would do lots of things, but it was very, you know, in a Parisian world. Do you hear me? Yes. It was very, you know, a little bit artsy stuff, and in a very closed world. And I didn't really put myself out there to connect, and it has been only since confinement that I realized, oh, okay, I need to connect. I need to find the people, you know, I need to go into their phone and connect with them. So I think that might be one of the reasons is that I just never really took the time to connect with people, and it is happening as we speak, and I love it so much. I don't know why I didn't start earlier, you know, and yeah, I think that might be one of the reasons it's still very small. It's that I just came out of the womb, kind of, you know.
Right. It's like kind of the Google and YouTube algorithms aren't too kind these days, you
Yes,
know, and are keeping it to certain people.
yeah.
And let's just hope the floodgate opens and your music does get discovered. I mean, I'm talking to you now. I discovered you, and it's great stuff.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I hope so too. And we'll definitely work on this. It's so important to me to, it's the most important thing in my life, I think, between everything I do. It's the music and connecting with people through music. To me, that's the most important thing. So we will go out of our way to find the right solutions and to connect with many, many people. And I've talked to people also whose work it is to promote stuff, so I understand the how it works. It just takes a little bit of time to like build it up because I always feel a little bit weird when I see you know people on the internet where they have lots of followers and you can like feel that they you know they bought some and you know all of that stuff, and I don't really like that. So I think. There's really a way to connect with lots of people, but yeah, you have to also, you know, trust the process and leave a little bit of it to, you know, an invisible force or something.
Let it go organically, and that's the best way to be
Yeah.
big, you know. So I really appreciate you taking the time in your super busy schedule. Uh,
Thank you. No, I'm so happy to talk to you. I looked up everything you do. It's amazing. So you did so many things like and interviews. It's like I looked it up on your site. I was like, okay, that's
yeah,
amazing.
I keep busy as well. Yeah, I've done over 1,000 interviews in
Wow.
7 years or something. And you know, I release music myself every week. You know, it's it's
Amazing.
a it's a hobby that you know you just got to keep on doing and
Yeah.
try to discover the algorithm of YouTube. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
So you know, so we just got to keep on doing what we do. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's so important, and I also feel like what you do, like you know, getting things out on in a steady rhythm is so good because it's also good for the artist and it's good for the people because when when I follow someone on YouTube, I want to know that I will get like content all the time, and like props to you for that. I'm still not really on a good schedule, but I'm working on it like as we speak, and I think it's very important to be generous right now. You know, there are so many artists in France, especially because in France, you know, we have this really good system for artists. So people get paid by France, you know, to be an artist. So it's pretty good. And people don't really realize that you have to be so generous with your fan base. It's so important, and that it eventually pays off. And here they're more like, yeah, you have to retain your stuff. You have to wait for the right moment. You're like, come on, there's thousand right moments in life, so just get
yeah,
it out there.
you have to march ahead. You know, because it's like if you wait, that product's already getting old.
Yeah,
That's the way I look at it. You
yeah,
know, I mean, I record music myself, and let's just say I got a backlog of stuff that you know it's old to me.
yeah.
I it's not new. When it's released, it's new. But then when you only get you know 15 views on it, it's like whatever,
Yeah,
and you know you just move on and then just go on to the next new stuff. You
totally.
know,
Yeah, I get you. But I think that's like that's how it works. I get you. I'm the same. I'm like, oh come on, I can't listen to the song anymore.
but it's like that. But YouTube releasing millions of stuffs per minute.
Yeah.
How do you even get into that?
Yeah, I think, at some point I tried to really understand that stuff, but I was like, you know what, just focus on the art, and then you'll see. Like,
I agree. Yeah. No. You
the
have
most
a,
important thing.
oh yeah, it is absolutely. Um, Thank you very much for this great interview, and
Thank you.
I shall let you guys know when it's released, and just keep on doing great stuff and release more material, of course.
Yes, I will, and you too, and let's keep in touch.
Absolutely. Et passe une belle soirée à la France, là.
Oh, bah, bien sûr. Oh, bah, merci beaucoup. Bonne soirée à toi.
Merci beaucoup et on se parlera plus tard.
Ouais, on se parlera plus tard. Bisous.
Bisous.